It was exactly 3:17 a.m. I remember because I was lying in the dark, scrolling through my phone, trying to force myself to sleep. The only other light was a faint, thin sliver bleeding in from under my bedroom door. Then the silence broke. 3 knocks. Knock, knock, knock. If it were a normal sound, I might have ignored it, but the rhythm was wrong. It was slow, deliberate. The cadence acted as a signal, communicating that whoever was out there already knew I was awake. At that moment, the physical boundary of my bedroom door was doing exactly what it was built to do. It kept the unknown firmly in the hallway, letting me hold on to the comforting illusion that as long as the wood and locks held, I was safe and in control. Then the knocking abruptly stopped. Silence hung in the air for a second, replaced by the sound of slow, heavy footsteps. And they weren't walking away, they were moving closer to the door. The steps stopped directly outside. I crept up to the wood, frozen. From the other side, I could hear slow, heavy breathing, pressing right up against the threshold. Every survival instinct in my body screamed at me to step away, to leave it locked. I ignored them. I reached out, turned the handle, and pulled the door open. By unlocking that deadbolt, I dismantled my single line of architectural defense. I had actively invited whatever was standing in the dark into my reality. But when the door swung open, there was absolutely no one there, just an empty hallway bathed in faintly flickering lights. I stepped out over the threshold. I looked left. I looked right. The entire corridor was completely void of any living thing. And then I heard it again. Knock, knock. Only this time, the sound wasn't coming from the hallway. It was coming from right behind me, deep inside my own room. The threat had moved from the hallway to the bedroom without ever crossing the threshold. In an instant, the physical architecture meant to separate me from the outside world became a useless decoration, transforming my only safe space into an immediate trap. I turned slowly, my eyes scanning the dark, until they locked onto the source. The knocking was coming from my closet. The wooden slats of the door were moving slightly, vibrating from the inside out. My body went entirely cold. The perimeter of my safety had violently shrunk down to a few square feet of drywall. I forced myself forward, taking slow, agonizing steps toward the noise. I put my hand on the knob and yanked it open. Nothing, just my hanging clothes and absolute emptiness. Finding empty space there breaks the logical rules of physical reality. A physical intruder can be fought or locked out, but an entity that occupies space without a body proves that physical walls and locks offer zero protection against it. The perimeter shrinks from the door, retreats past the closet, collapsing entirely into a single line: the mirror. Glancing into the glass, the reflection showed someone behind my shoulder. I whipped around to face the room, but the space remained completely empty. There was no one. I slowly turned my head back toward the mirror. The thing in the reflection hadn't left. It had moved closer. The mirror acts as an unbreachable trap. It operates as an inverted reality, where the threat has full visibility and the ability to advance, while the victim is left with zero physical means to defend themselves or escape. That night broke my understanding of safety. Now my bedroom is a fortress of paranoia. The overhead lights stay on until morning, every lock is permanently engaged, and I simply do not sleep. The tragic irony of all these precautions is that they do not matter. Fortifying a room with deadbolts and bright ceiling lights is a useless endeavor when the entity bypasses architecture entirely to live within the room's reflections. Now the cycle repeats. Every night I sit awake, waiting. As the clock strikes exactly 3:17 a.m., the terror begins again. Knock, knock. The devastation of 3:17 a.m. is the permanent loss of the sanctuary itself. Once a conceptual perimeter is breached, it can never be restored. The locks hold a door against a monster that is already standing in the room.